Okay, a couple of years down the road, you are hanging out,
Yeah,
still telling jokes. You have
good.
a weekly show that you run.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What's it called?
It's called Just Scraping Along. Just
Okay.
Scraping Along is a it's a comedy show that you have at a nail salon. And so the graphic that you use is like these like nails like just kind of like scraping. It's like someone clearly like trying to like get away from like a fire. You know what I mean?
No, I don't know what you mean. What do you mean when you say trying to get away from a fire?
It's like someone trying to like their nails are scraping on the fucking sidewalk as they're trying to get away from some kind of like clearly some sort of inferno behind them,
So
burning
that
them.
so
But that's
that's
just
the
like the
impression.
logo.
Yeah, but it's somebody crawling away from moments from being burned to death, and it's their
But
fingernails.
but the nails look
Yeah.
pristine. That's
Okay.
kind of what makes people keep coming back to the show
Just
is
scraping along.
the art for it. It looks incredible.
Yeah.
Like the nails look immaculate.
Yeah.
Like people will see it, and even if they don't say it, some people will think to themselves like, "Oh yeah, I would burn to death in a fire for those nails." I get it.
That's a pretty casual. Yeah. Oh yeah, sure. Give me those nails. I'll die in a fire.
It's a thought
That's
they
fucking
have.
stupid.
Well, it's a thought they have, and they kind of go like, "That was weird." And as they walk away, they just like it just goes out their brain immediately.
Okay.
So just scraping along is you're doing it at a nail salon. The name of the nail salon is called Nail It Down, a place to get your nails done.
Jesus Christ. Why have the second half of that? That doesn't exist in any other business. It wasn't like Blockbuster Video. Come watch a movie. Why would they use like a fucking explainer phrase?
I don't know. I mean, it's just the name of the place, you know.
That's what a fucking what an awful name.
Yeah, the owner is kind of like a strange, kind of like an offbeat guy.
Yeah, what's his deal?
He's like a older guy, clearly like ex hippie kind of guy. Sometimes like the way like the sun
It's an old white
sets.
guy.
Yeah, it's sometimes like and he has like long like silver hair, and sometimes when the sun sets correctly and the stars are right, he almost
The
strikes you
stars
as some
aren't going to come out until that sun's gone, man. That's how stars work.
he almost
It's
strikes
like
you as
not
some kind of
simultaneous.
like Western figure, you know?
Yeah, he's corralling the stars at an early hour.
His name is he goes, just call me Dusty Cowpoke.
Oh,
Dusty Cowpoke has owned the store, Nail It Down, place to get your nails done. He's owned it for, like decades, It's just like this weird,
it's an
funky,
institution.
it's an LA institution where it's
Okay.
like Janis Joplin sang there back in the day. Just like one time, but it's still a pretty cool story. It was
Okay.
a it was like they had like bingo night and like
At the nail salon.
yeah, and like Janis Joplin showed up just drunk as fuck like, "Oh, I want to sing." And like sang a few songs, and it was like honestly not the best like sounding, but it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It's a great story, to be able to say that
Yeah,
you
it
were
sounds
there
like a
watching
great fucking story.
a
What a
slosh to
tale.
you wouldn't think that was kind of cool if you saw like Janis Joplin drunk as fuck at a nail salon.
I go, why the fuck are they playing bingo at a nail salon?
Why do they have a comedy show? It's just what they do, man. It's weird LA.
You know how long it's gonna take? Like you can't fit a ton of people in a nail salon. You know how long it's gonna take for somebody to hit on that thing? It's gonna be forever. It's gonna
What do
be a
you
miserable game of bingo. And then you have a drunk Janis Joplin showing up.
yeah.
That's like a
I don't know.
totally different energy than bingo at the nail salon.
I'm not saying it was a good performance, but it's an interesting thing that happened.
Okay, yeah. I'm glad they can cling to that.
Um, so
Good for
things
them.
are things are going okay for you
Is the
telling
show good
jokes.
at least?
The show is amazing.
Okay.
You just hosted by yourself. You don't have like a co-host or anything like that. Um, every once in a while, if like a good friend of yours is in town, you'll have them as like, like a special guest co-host. Like Danny Goodwin recently came to visit and you had him as your co-host and you were like, uh, and honestly, like normally, you going up top, like it's usually pretty funny. It usually goes pretty well. The crowd is like, they're kind of cold, but you have to break them open as the host,
Yeah, I gotta
and
break them open.
normally it goes okay. And you're kind of known for like breaking open those audiences, man.
Yeah. I'm cracking them
Back,
open.
yeah, back in St. Louis, they called you the cracker.
Crackers. Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
for like cracking them open.
Or like I'm like a very average white man.
I mean, that was sort
Cracker,
of like
Pat.
if that was part of like, the joke, I guess, so
All right.
but
That's
you have
fucking
a
sucks. They call me the cracker everywhere I go.
well, I mean, your friends did back home. It doesn't like follow you or nothing. But when you go back home, like
Thank God.
but when you go back like to visit and like if you do a show somewhere, if someone sees you from back in the day,
No.
like this guy Nick comes up to you and he's
Nick,
like, yeah. And he's like, "Oh man, Cracker, what's up?" Gives you a
no.
big hug.
I would say, hey, I'm not cracker. Please don't call me cracker. Good to see you, Nick.
He goes,
How are
"Definitely."
you?
He goes, "I'm good. What about hey, I can't wait to see you go up later. You're gonna crack me up." Cracker. And then someone walks in and they're like, Cracker. Everyone's like, Cracker's home, everybody.
God, I fucking hate this so much.
We love you.
I fucking hate this. This
Why?
sucks.
What do
The
you mean?
cracker, Pat? What do you mean, why? Everybody calls me the cracker or cracker.
Well,
That
not
fucking
everybody.
sucks.
Just your friends.
Oh no, just my friends, just at least 6 or 7 people so far.
Yeah. Well, you don't have 6 or 7 friends?
Yeah, I do, but they're not gonna call me the fucking cracker.
Well, these ones do. So,
And that's why I hate it. I hate this. This
so
sucks.
when doing your
The cracker.
so you do your show, and you have and you kind of that's the kind of in the back of your mind.
Yeah,
Every
I
time you
hate
go
it.
up,
It would
you
bother me.
well, you kind of think about like how far you've come in your life where like, they used to call me the cracker and here I am doing this show that like honestly like packs it out, and like you gotten some pretty big names on it. You know what I mean? You had a Kevin Hart recently did a surprise, absolutely unannounced guest set.
What does Kevin Hart call me?
Aaron.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. It's like it's not like that name follows you or anything like that. Like, but you think about it, you kind of remember. You remember, like, I used to be called Cracker, and now I have this cool show. Kevin Hart did a dropping guest. You had the King of England came in one time.
That old dog?
Yeah, he did a
Yeah.
set.
Was he good?
You know,
All right.
yeah, but it was,
Would
but
imagine he'd
like
be.
but that was part of it. Like he was like, I don't know, we don't quite do it here. You know what I mean? And
Isn't he
so
dying?
he recently announced that he has cancer. I think, yeah, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. And he just
So
like, is this like a thing where he's like, I got to get this in before I go?
kind of, I guess.
And he
Yeah.
drops in on my show at a nail salon, the King of England,
Yeah. Charles
just pops in.
just
He just,
pops
he
in.
does a drop in.
Yeah, I mean, like you're told ahead of time he's coming. It's not like he just
I don't
shows
think I'd
up.
have the King of England on my show. Never want to fuck that guy, you know? Also, I think I'd rather think I'd rather have like a regular comedian.
Well, yeah, but
But
like you,
I would read like the booking emails and everything, and I would really play it up. I would make fun of it for sure, but I wouldn't want him on my show.
but you can't afford to like pass this up, you know?
Why? Why the fuck? Who's gonna give a flying shit about where the King of England did a stand-up set 6 months before he died?
Sure. So
Man, if he
you
dies in 6 months to the day,
yeah.
I'm buying a lottery ticket.
So you kind of like
I'll
say
do it.
that. You kind of like say that to him in the email. He shows up anyway and does a set,
I'm
but
not gonna have him do a set. Huh?
the people like go crazy. Like when he walks in, people are like, "Holy shit!" It's the, so Danny's on stage when this
Yeah.
happened, and
How's he doing?
normally like I said, like you're known as the cracker back home. So like you're able to crack these audiences open, but like Danny is up there with you just eating shit, and
Yeah.
then
Oh, that
the, the
sucks.
the King of England walks in, and suddenly everyone just forgets that just happened because everyone's like, "Oh my god, it's the King of England!" Because you said there was gonna be a surprise guest,
Why
and
would I
so
say that if I wasn't gonna have him on?
because there was gonna be a surprise guest,
Oh
the King of
yeah.
England just showed up anyway. He just bum rushed it.
Oh,
Yeah.
so who's my other surprise guest?
It was going to be Chris Rock.
Okay.
You were hoping.
So I didn't have that plan, but I said there will be a surprise guest. So I'm just lying,
Well, you
openly
said
lying.
you were like, I really hope Chris Rock can show up. It'd be really cool if he did. You kind of were just like hoping it would like come true, you know? So the King of England shows up, and people are like, "Oh
This
my god, it
fucking
must be this,
sucks.
like it must be the special guest." And he goes up and he's like, "All right, I'll have me a go at this, yeah." And so, and like the jokes aren't good or anything like that, but like, but he's like, he's pretty charming, he's got like media training and erudite son of a bitch, So he goes up
Yeah.
there and he does like some crowd work and stuff, and like part of it is that like he doesn't know what he's doing, and people just start laughing because they're like, this is such a surreal thing to see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like one person he goes like, "Oh, are you two dating?" And they're like, "Oh no, we're just friends." And then he goes like, "All right, yeah." Or but he probably wants to go at you. And like everyone laughs and like she laughs too. And then everyone's just like, "What's going on?" And then like he sees
The
one
King of
person.
England you're talking about making the
Yeah.
sound? Okay,
Yeah,
just
it's the King
checking.
of England. And then like he sees one guy and he's like, "Hey, what's your name then?" And the guy's like, he's got like an Irish accent. He's like, "My name's Sean O'Malley." And like the King of England like tries to spit on him, but it like misses. And so you're doing the show there and things are
The
going
fuck does that mean? What the hell is that?
so things are going pretty good. Um I will say that
Is that a thing that I
LA
should know?
what? The King of
What
England
the
spitting on the
Sean?
Irish?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's just what happened.
Well, I have no fucking idea what you're talking about.
And like he missed and like everyone just thought like, "Oh, it's a joke." Like he didn't actually spit, but he did. But like no one actually saw it except you, and you keep your mouth shut.
I don't know why.
Everyone just
It means nothing to me.
because the
Other than like
look,
that guy's a fucking asshole, which like I would have believed.
but like everyone laughs, like everyone thinks he's being ironic, but the look he shoots you could kill a baby deer.
I don't give a flying
So,
fuck.
so you
That guy
shut the
sucks.
fuck up.
No, there's no way. I'm not gonna let him spit on somebody.
We missed.
I'm not gonna
No
let
one
him spit
noticed.
at somebody. Like, get the fuck out of here.
You kind
What
of
are you
like start to
doing?
say,
Spitting at people.
you kind of start to say that, and then like one of his like guards, one of those like old like style fucking British royal guards, you know what I mean, with those fucking hats.
Yeah, yeah. One of those guys, the ones
Yeah,
that
like
don't smile.
one of them like shows up and he is not smiling, dude. And you look over
They
and
never
he has,
smile.
yeah, and he has like the biggest knife you've ever seen in your life. And he kind of just goes, "I don't think so, governor." So you just kind of like drop it. And so you're doing the show and things are
This
going pretty
fucking
well, like I
sucks.
said. But so professionally things are going well, but
Yeah, it sounds like it.
LA has
The
gotten
fucking King of England was just spitting at somebody on my show, which is at a nail salon. Things are going great.
In exchange for your silence, they actually like pay you off.
No, I don't want anything. I'm not taking money from them.
You wake up
I
one
don't
day,
want anything from them. I want this relationship to be over and never revisited again.
you
And
wake
I look
up one
forward
day,
to the day that that guy dies.
you wake up one day and you open your front door and there's like just like a golden like watch, and it says on the back of it, it's engraved, it says to Aaron, like to colon Aaron, from colon, and then in quotes, the king of rock and roll, and then in quote, then underneath in parentheses, King Charles.
I would
Thanks
go
for being
to a
cool.
mall. I would go to the mall out in
Yeah.
Glendale, and I would find a cash for gold place, the place that's gonna rip me off,
Yeah.
but that's okay. And I would just say, "Hey, here's this. What will you give me for it?" And I would just get rid of it immediately.
So you go into a cash
Or
for
maybe let's
gold.
take it to a pawn shop. I don't know. I'm not a smart person. I wouldn't know where to like get rid of something like that.
Down at the pawn shop.
Yeah.
So you go to the.
I would call Pat Soroy's and I would say, "Hey, here's what I have. What do you think I could get for this?"
He's like, what's up, homie? Yeah, let me just take a look. And so Pat Soroyas is like happens to he's like a comedian in Austin. He's also like a pawn shop legend, and he just happens to be in LA. So telling some jokes, doing some shows, and so
Good.
he comes to
I
like
love
your
Pat.
place. Yeah, great dude. We're actually at the Velveeta Room. We're doing a thing called Pat Fest coming up pretty soon.
He's great. Pat's so
Yeah,
funny
and so
and a nice
he
man.
he shows up and he has one of those like um what do you call those things that like the
A jeweler's loop.
yeah, and he like uses it to like it's like a magnifying thing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so he inspects the watch and his eyes like bug out for just a second. And he's like, "Oh yeah, like give you like 200." Do you take it?
Do I think this watch is worth more than $200?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, do you think it would be?
Does it
If
look
he
nice? I mean, it's from the fucking King of England. It's got to be worth more than $200, Pat, is what I would tell him.
he's like, "Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I got to make a profit."
Oh yeah, yeah, I get that, but that means this watch is this watch worth $500 or is this watch worth $50,000?
He goes, "All right, 250."
I go, no, no, thanks, Pat. I said I'm gonna look into this more. I just didn't know if you had a ballpark, but thank you for your help. I
He
still
goes,
love you as a friend.
he goes, "I love you too, homie." And like he leaves. Uh you like kind of get thirsty, so you walk into the kitchen and trip and like the watch goes flying and lands in the garbage disposal and gets like mangled. So nothing ever comes of it. But
Okay, fine. I don't fucking
so
care.
yeah, so you're hanging out one day. Life, like I said, is kind of going okay. So not only do you have this cool show going that has these interesting drop-in guests,
Yeah,
you
interesting
also
drop-ins.
are a partner in a restaurant.
What? I'm a
You have
partner in a restaurant.
you are a partner in the hottest
Oh no.
land and sea combo restaurant in Los Angeles.
Hill surf and turf?
Yeah, like a surf and turf type of thing. But you are doing combinations no one has ever thought of.
Like what?
Shrimp and bones.
The fuck? What do you mean shrimp and bones? How is
So
that a
it's
meal?
shrimp and deep fried like marrow,
Yeah.
And so and honestly, dude, the aioli that it comes with is to die for. And you think to yourself, maybe someone did.
Shrimp
Uh,
is my favorite meat.
Yeah.
If
So
you give me a choice of all meats, I would pick shrimp.
really,
Yeah, I think so. Just for like right now, you know?
right now you're
I think
just
I would, if presented with this opportunity 100 times throughout my life, I think I would pick shrimp over 50% of the time,
interesting.
historically. I'm a big shrimp fan. I like shrimp, you know.
This okay. And that's like part of what made you want to open this place. You're kind of
My
known
love for
for,
shrimp.
yep, you're kind of known for the shrimp and bones, but you also have other things, you have like shrimp and of course steak. You have shrimp and fruity pebbles. You've got your
What the
basic
fuck?
shrimp. Yeah, you're like the best of the sea and also some cereal. We put the
Ugh,
sea in cereal.
don't like this.
So
Okay.
you're like, because you're part of your kind of your role in the restaurant is you're kind of like you're like the hospitality guy. You kind of walk around from like table to table, being like, "Hey, everything okay over here?" Like, "Hey,
Being
can
a
I get you?"
charming man.
You're being, yeah. And
Okay.
sometimes you time it so that when you walk into the restaurant for the first time, like to the main like dining hall, that song "This Charming Man" starts playing by the Smiths. And everyone looks
Okay.
up and and they applaud if you pull it off. The
Okay.
wait staff does. They know what's going on.
Okay. I could get into that.
Yeah. So you kind of just walk around and like, oh, everything okay, and like, you attract a pretty chill clientele. No one's ever like nutty. I mean, you got to deal with the occasional weirdo, working in
Sure,
the
sure.
restaurant industry, but for the most part,
By and large, it's okay.
yeah, by and large, everything is okay. You also do the commercials, and
Okay.
so you're in one commercial where you're like sitting at a restaurant, and
Yeah.
the waitress is like, "Oh, and what'll it be for you, handsome?" And you blush, and then you go, I'll have the surf and turf." And she goes, "Oh, you didn't hear? We don't have surf and turf." And then everyone in the restaurant looks up and they go, "No surf and turf." And it's like, "Come down to Aaron's Sea and Land
Aaron
Restaurant on Main
Sealand.
Street." Oh, no, it's Aaron's Sea and Land Restaurant on Main
Oh,
Street. That's the lyrics. But the name of the restaurant that you have, it's like I said, sand. I keep saying sand and land, sea and land combo restaurant.
yeah.
Uh, you're called um one if by earth, two if by sea.
Oh
Uh,
fuck. It's the worst fucking name in the history of culinary anything.
so the commercial is like that, like
One
riff
if by
playing.
land, two if by sea.
Well,
Oh,
the riff is that the guitar riff is playing, and it's like, "Come on down, come on down," and you're doing what you call the mashed potato dance, where it's you like, and you're like, it's
it's
kind of
already
like
a dance, Pat.
it's like you're making wine, except you're making mashed potatoes with your feet, and then like underneath it, it says like, "This isn't how we actually do it. Don't worry, everyone. Haha, I love you, Aaron." And so it's you like doing the mashed potato dance and you're kind of like wiggling around. And so that's part of like also the stuff. So like when you walk around the restaurant, sometimes people are like, "It's the mashed potato man." And you always look over and you go like, "Hell yeah, brother." And you kind of like wiggle your tush just a little, enough to like satisfy them to be like, "Oh, he did the dance," but also enough to be like, "All right, guys, like, I am at work."
That's fucking awful.
What do you mean?
I'm wiggling my ass
Just a
for
little,
people.
just a quick little tush, just an
Yeah,
acknowledgement.
yeah, I get it, Pat. Yeah,
Thanks for
I'm
coming in,
wiggling my
gentlemen.
ass for people as a way of saying thank you to appease them.
I mean, you don't always do it. You don't have,
Yeah, I don't have to. I don't want to do this.
but you do it. So,
Why?
because it's like you believe in this restaurant, dude. You honestly do. You're partnered with this guy.
One if by land, two if by sea.
Yeah.
Sucks.
You're it's like you're investing with like two other guys.
Yeah,
There's a guy whose name is Arthur Kingsley.
yeah,
There's another guy whose name is his brother, uh Siddhartha Kingsley? Arthur and Siddhartha Kingsley?
Arthur and Siddhartha Kingsley.
Yeah, they're your like business partners. And so they kind of handle like the sweets, you handle the savory. That's your deal, you know? You
This
go,
is a
"Hey,
surf and turf restaurant. That's like all mine.
well, yeah, but then there's also like the desserts and stuff like that."
Yeah, but there's three of us. I feel like I'm getting fucked on this.
What do you mean?
Like these two guys handle the desserts and I handle the rest of a surf and turf restaurant.
Well, I mean, so basically what they are is they're like the investors, but also like they work there. You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah,
actually like working in the kitchens and stuff like that. And so you're not like necessarily a manager or anything like that. You just kind of walk around and do your little dance and make sure everyone's, doing okay. You know what I mean? So that's just like
that's
one
the
of
extent of my
your
role is to come in and be charming and to talk to customers,
you're the face of the place. You're in the commercials.
but I'm not like in charge of anything else. There's other people for that.
No, but you have a stake in the restaurant.
Sure,
Yeah.
but there is like a general manager.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay, okay. I'm just there to be the face and
Yeah.
to shake my fucking ass,
Well, put
apparently.
it that way. So you are working there and things like I said are going okay, you know? You're doing your show, you're working
Yeah,
at the one if by land, two if by sea.
so
Things are
bad.
going okay.
Yeah,
One evening there's you're just kind of like sitting at home watching the show you're watching Chunks and the phone rings.
chunks. Yeah.
The phone rings. What do you do?
What's the caller ID?
It says Lanalax beverage.
I don't have any need for that. I don't think I would answer the call. I think I would just let it go to voicemail.
Goes to voicemail. Do you listen to it?
Is there like a known problem at the restaurant that I would
So
somehow
what
need
it
to be
is,
looped in on?
well, that's the thing is that like when you're helping run this restaurant, well, you're not run it, but you know what I mean. When you're the face of the restaurant, you kind of people do sometimes come to you to be like, oh, hey, like I make this product. I'd love to get it featured in your
Oh,
restaurant.
okay.
Maybe it's like that kind of thing. So it's not unusual. Not unusual. You kind of hum that to yourself as you look down at the phone.
Yeah. Big hog, that guy.
Oh, yeah, famously so.
Legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I mean, I guess I would answer if I think it's gonna be like business related or work related.
You answer. They're like, uh, hey, Aaron, this is Cindy
I don't need anything
Crawford.
else. I don't need it.
She goes, I'm from Lanalax Beverage. Do you have a moment? I'd love to maybe do some business with you.
Oh, I say, oh great. I'm not one of the business partners. You might want to give them a call. I really don't. I have a
She,
different role in the business.
she's like, yeah, the thing is that well, this is a little embarrassing, but well, I don't really get along with the Kingsley brothers.
Well, they're the ones that make the decisions, unfortunately. I'm
She
just a
goes,
pretty face.
she goes, yeah, well, it was my understanding they seem to handle the sweet side of things. You can practically hear her smile.
I say that yeah, it's great. And my job is to walk around and be kind.
She goes,
You know, I have a
and
business stake, but they're the ones that I have no role in any of this.
she goes, and what better way to walk around and be kind but to hand out complimentary glasses of new Lanalax red wine. She goes, it's a Cabernet, but don't let it fool you. It'll stand up to seafood too.
So great. Can you send a bottle to the restaurant and we'll have our team sample it?
I'd love that. Thank you,
Great.
Aaron. She
Thank you.
goes, have a great evening.
You too.
She goes,
I hang
not,
up. I hang up.
she goes, not if
I
I do
hang up.
first.
I'm hanging up. I'm hanging up. I don't want to be in this conversation anymore.
So, you go to sleep. You dream of a howling void. The next day,
Great.
you go into
Great.
work, and there's like the sommelier is there,
Yeah.
Isaac Benjamin.
I say, hey, Isaac, I got
He
a bottle of red coming for you,
he goes, hell
courtesy of
yeah.
Lanalax wines.
He goes, yeah, man. He goes, that's kind of what I want to talk to you about. He's like a TikTok. He's like huge on like wine TikTok. You know what I mean?
Okay. That's cool. Good for him.
Yeah, where it's like he does these things where you can give him any kind of wine, he'll be able to tell you what it is.
That's cool. He's a
Yeah.
very talented man.
Even if it's like Mad Dog wine, like that like really shitty fortified wine, doesn't matter. His
Thunderbird or
palate
whatever.
his palate is so sharp that sometimes when he sips wine, he shatters the fucking glass, dude.
No, come on. Get
And he
out of
works
here.
for you. And he goes,
Well, if he said, what does he think? Did he try it?
he goes, Aaron, we sampled it and this is incredible. He goes, I mean, like we tried this with every dish that we serve. It doesn't matter if the sauce is red, the sauce is white, if there's no sauce. He goes, this wine is incredible. He goes,
Say great.
we have to get this in our restaurant.
So send it to the boys. Let them know.
He
Let
goes,
them know it's what you want.
absolutely. He goes, thank you, Aaron.
Don't
He looks
thank
at
me.
you.
I just took a phone call.
He goes, huh, yeah. He walks away.
The fuck?
You go, you go
Isaac
home.
Benjamin.
You go home and standing like kind of like sitting on like your front porch, there's like two different rocking chairs, and rocking perfectly in time with each other are
That's
the
horrifying.
Arthur and Siddhartha Kingsley.
I say, hello, gentlemen.
They go, Aaron, did you forget that we were coming over for dinner tonight?
I guess I did. I didn't recall.
And you immediately go, fuck, because they were supposed to come over for like you totally like luckily you like hired somebody to do like the cooking, so like they're gonna show up with the food pretty soon, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's not, you just forgot, like it's really no big deal. And so you kind of laugh and you go, oh man, sorry, you're like, I just kind of have a lot on my mind, I guess. And they're like, oh yeah, it's all good, like, no big deal. You guys
yeah.
have always gotten along, you guys have never like been close, but
We're business partners.
you're business partners. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And so you guys you go inside and you have a lovely meal.
Okay.
Chicken salt and boca
Okay.
with some side of Chef Boyardee. It's an inside joke between you and the brothers. So you guys have
We just have
you
a can of it on hand.
yeah, it's like a joke. So when you
It's,
first met
this
when you
nice restaurant has a can of it
oh no,
available.
they're at your
Oh,
apartment.
they're my home.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right.
It's just like an
Okay.
inside
So this
joke.
came from my pantry.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm eating
Because
Chef
because
Boyardee on the
the
regular.
no. So what happened was the first time you ever met them, like they came over to your house to talk to you, and you kind of again had forgotten that they were coming over.
Yeah.
Um, and so you like were like, "Oh, you guys hungry?" And they were like, "Oh man, honestly, thank you for offering. We're starving." And all you had was some Chef Boyardee, and you were like, and you kind of look at it and you put it down, and they look at you, and they look at it, and they look back at you, and then both of them kind of like both of them like raise one eyebrow at the exact same time you do. You guys just fucking go to town with some Chef Boyardee together. And that's how you knew you could get into business with these guys.
Oh, that sucks. Did we at least heat it up?
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Yeah. Come on. So at the end of your meal, they're like, they get up to leave and they go, oh, Aaron, what Isaac was raving about some kind of wine earlier that, and they told him said that you wanted to go ahead and order some. They were like, tell me about it. That sounds pretty cool.
I said I got a phone call from a wine rep for Lanalax wines. They have a red that they sent over, sample bottle. Isaac said it's great. It works with everything. He wants some in the restaurant.
And then they kind of go like, oh, Lanalax. Interesting.
Yeah, so you should talk to Isaac about it. He raved about it. He said it was fantastic.
They go, awesome. And they go, all right, Aaron, we'll talk to you later. They leave.
Okay,
You just kind of like go to bed early. Um,
just wiped out.
you're just wiped out. That night, you dream of like a race between stalactites and stalagmites in a cave. Like one's on the top, one's on the bottom, and they just kind of like get bigger and bigger and bigger and try to like and like when they touch each other, you know the world's going to end.
That sucks.
Then you wake up and you go into work and it's actually kind of like a big night. Uh like you get like a a voice message, from one of the brothers. It's kind of hard to tell. They look remarkably alike and they sound remarkably alike. And so they're like, Aaron, yeah, so it's tonight we're gonna go ahead and do a wine pairing thing with our food. We're gonna go ahead and use that wine that you like. And we got
Hey,
some
to be clear, it's not a wine I like.
well, this is a voice
I'm not.
recording. So it's like, so
Yeah,
we're
that
looking forward
sucks.
to it. See you at
I would
work.
make sure they understood that had nothing to do with signing off on this wine, and then I just presented the opportunity to get a new wine in the place.
Yeah. And so you get there and they're like doing like this big tasting. They're pairing the wine with their chicken parm. And so
Right.
and like it goes incredibly well. People
Great.
are raving about the wine.
Great.
Like people are like,
I'm
"Oh, like
glad
let's."
people are enjoying the wine.
They're like, "Let's get some more," and you're like, "Definitely, here you go." And you're like, like there's some like very important like people there. There's a like a food critic for Esquire magazine is there.
Okay.
His name is Riley Crumbs.
Riley
There's
Crumbs.
the mayor is there, um, chief of police, and they're all like
Why
this
such a big night?
because you just hyped this wine up so much to these guys that they like went all out for the marketing. And so they're there and they're
I don't
eating,
like this.
and then halfway through the meal, they all start like going,
Are
oh,
you fucking
oh,
kidding
oh,
me?
and they all start like coughing up
Are you
blood.
fucking serious?
The wine was poisoned, and they're like, "Holy
Yeah,
shit, Aaron!" And you're like, "I didn't what?" And so you just kind of
I had
go
nothing
like,
to do with this shit. I got a phone call and said, yeah, send us a free bottle of wine. And if it did that, why didn't it hurt IJ?
So
Why didn't it hurt anybody else the first time around? It was
the
poison.
rest, the rest of the evening is sort of a blur, but
Yeah, you fucking think so? Half
lo-
of my fucking dining room is dead.
and you're just sort of like sitting there in like the empty dining room, and like it's just you and the brothers, and you guys are just like sitting there, and you look up, and you're like, they're like, "Holy shit, Aaron!" They're like, "I don't understand." They're like, "Isaac had it, everyone else had it. Like, I don't know." And they go, but woof, not the best night for us, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. That-
You look at them and you kind of take a sip of water, and suddenly there's this thing
what the
where
fuck?
you know that thing where an object is like too close to your face and there's like double, and then
Yeah.
when you kind of get the farther and farther away from you, it like resolves into one thing.
Yeah.
So that happens with the two brothers. They kind of like
What the fuck? That.
slide into each other and they become
Oh,
one being.
gross.
And it's kind of interesting. You're not certain how you didn't notice this before, but both of them, as they sort of like combine, you thought that the suits they wore were the reddest suits you'd ever seen in your fucking life.
Are you fucking serious?
But when they came together, that's the suit that the guy standing in front of you is wearing is the most red piece of clothing that you have ever seen in your fucking life.
I find the nearest bottle of wine and I just drink it. And I pray that I'm one of the lucky half and it dies from it.
So you chug the
Because I don't
wine,
want to, I have nothing to offer from this point forward.
you chug the wine, and
Yeah,
the being that stands in front of you that resolved into one person goes, "Hello, Aaron, it's me, the Sugar King."
this
And he
fucking
goes,
sucks.
he goes, "You shouldn't have accepted the wine."
We fucking did, dude. We did accept the wine. Why half of my fucking room died tonight because of that wine that we accepted that wine.
He pulls
Why the
out
fuck
a
are you punishing me?
he pulls out a bunch of candy canes that are like sharpened at the end to a
I don't give a fuck.
insane point and
Just do
just
it.
throws them at you, and
Come on.
they just turn your face into a fucking like pincushion, dude.
That fucking sucks.
You
Fuck him.
die.
Fuck you.
You die standing up.
Fuck you. That sucks.
They actually bury you standing up too.
Great. Good. I'm glad.
The people that they hired to dig the hole, they like read the measurements wrong, and so instead of it being like long one way, it's long, the opposite direction, so
Hi.
straight down.
Paul.
Yeah, totally
Cool.
vertical. So
Great. I hate this. I fucking accepted the wine. Why is he angry at me?
because they didn't get along with that person, remember? They were enemies. Oh, it was the Sugar King all along,
Horseshit.
baby. He's
That's
back.
horseshit.